Litecoin and Bitcoin at critical levels. What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. Hope you're all having a good weekend. We're going to take a look at Litecoin and then take a look at Bitcoin and look at the dip we just had and see what's going on and where we might be headed. Also, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to show you again, if you haven't seen already, I'm going to show you why I think the lows are in. And that's not to say that we don't correct back down, but I do believe we have seen the lows, and I'm going to show you a couple reasons why towards the end of the video. So stick around.
1, 2, 3, jump!
Alright guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my view and my opinion of the market only. Anybody that's doing any investing or any trading in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market's extremely volatile. And I am not a financial advisor. So with that being said, let's get into the charts. This is the daily on Litecoin. We're going to zoom in here, excuse me, and see what's going on. The reason I wanted to start out in the big picture like that is just so you get an idea of this move. It seems big to us now, but it actually really wasn't much of anything in the big picture. So let's zoom in and talk about where we're at and what we've been talking about in the last few videos. All right, if you remember yesterday, I had a 53 target here that I took away because I really seen us going up towards the 56. But I did take that away yesterday, and that did end up being where we topped out here. But as of right now, I don't think that, these are invalidated yet. And reason being, if you look at this low here, as long as we don't go lower than this over here, and I'll explain why. I used to do a lot of Elliott wave. I don't do as much anymore. It's good for... hindsight's 20/20. You can usually count the waves, and sometimes you can get the waves right, but it's very difficult while everything's going. So I'm not a big fan of Elliott wave anymore, but on some stuff it can help me in trades. So anyways, let's get into what's going on here. So we're gonna go into the 4-hour. Well, before we do that, we'll go into the RSI. Talk about what we had talked about yesterday and for the last week or two now. We're in the daily, and this is the rising wedge I've had drawn here. And I'd said, if we came back down to test this support, the bottom one, and we broke through, that we would probably have a sell-off. Now, we are in the daily, and we still have, what, I think an hour or something left. So we do have enough time for this to spike up back in here and continue up and maybe test a new high. But as of right now, you can see we've broken down through. Now let's look into the 4-hour. And the 4-hour RSI, same thing. I'd said if we broke down this bottom resistance, and that's why I tell you guys to keep an eye on that stuff, that we'd have a sell-off, and that's exactly what happened. Now you can see we're starting to curve up in the 4-hour. And if you look at the 1-hour RSI, as you can see, we went all the way down to 16.4. And then, obviously way oversold and getting a bounce back up. Now, every time, if you look in the past, every time we get oversold, we bounce back up to the top. Oversold, go back to the top. So I do believe that we're going to get upwards movement here. And if we go back to the 4-hour, I do believe that, we'll come up and test the bottom of this symmetrical triangle again. Now let's look into the charts and see what that means in price. Again, if you guys haven't already, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right hand side of the screen. Tick the little notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. And also, give it a giant thumbs up. Leave comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know where you think Litecoin and Bitcoin are headed. I like to read the comments and get involved with the community. So Hey, I'd appreciate it if you leave comments. So anyways, where we're at here, if you remember, we were watching this channel here, and I had said, you know, I was looking for it to come back down and test this for support, and if it broke through, you know, it would be a nice drop, and that's exactly what happened here. Now, it could be over right here, in my opinion, as long as we don't go below this support here around 41.18 or so. As long as that holds as support, you know, I do see us being able to continue up. But on the bearish side, let's look at the bearish side first. I'm going to go into the 1 hour. And if this was, you know, there's no way to tell what it's going to be forming. I'm just going to kind of show you what I'm looking at on, let's say we, you know, did a bear flag, something like this up here. Okay, and then we'll do a measured move, which would be from the breakout right here, measure the flagpole. And like I said, guys, I like to show you the simple way of doing things. You know, there's more to it, obviously. But when I do these videos, obviously, I don't want to take too much time. People don't like to sit around and watch videos all day. So, and that's what gets us back to the bottom of this channel here, around the $34, $35 range. If this was to, like I said, if it was to print a bear flag and continue down, that's what I'm looking at. But also, again, we got to look for support here at the 41.25 area. And reason being, like I was talking about the Elliott wave count. If you were to count this, the Elliott wave, the one possibility is that this here would be wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3. And that would make this wave 4 coming down. And wave 4 never overlaps wave 1, which was right here around the 41.30 range, somewhere in there. Now, if we were to break down below that, that would invalidate that count. So that's the reason I'm saying, you know, that we should get support around the 41.30 area if we do continue down. But if we don't, then obviously that would come back down to the $34, $35 range. And now on the upside, I still have these targets at the 54 or 56 and the $59 to $60 range. Now what I'm looking at here, I'm going to take a, let me see if I can get in close enough here. Okay, as I'm sure you guys, most of you have heard of the Adam and Eve. Well, I'm looking at this as a possible Adam and Eve. If you see this tip in the middle, we'll look at, we're going to start there. And this would be the Eve. This would be the Adam. And it could also be looked at as a cup and handle. But anyway, right there, excuse me, looking at the Adam and Eve. And that is a possibility of where we're at now. And what I'm going to do is, let's draw a line across the neck of that. I'm going to make it thick so we know what we're looking at. Let's go here. All right. So we would put that right about here. Whoops. Sorry about that. Let's put a thick yellow line so we can see it right there. Okay, now, like I said, this could be the Adam and Eve, and this would be the neckline at the yellow. And how you would make a measured move off that is you measure from the top to the bottom of the Adam, and then that would be where it would break out to, and that's where we come up with the 59.45. And another way I got the same measured move is if we measured this channel here to where we broke out, and then we put it back up to where we broke out, and that gets us right in that same vicinity. And obviously these aren't exact, So that's, you know, I'm still looking at least this $56 range if we do continue up here. Now, like I said, we have to watch this area. I'm going to turn this line back to the blue line for the support resistance that I had drawn there. Okay, so like I said, I'm looking at, if this does print a bear flag, you know, I'm looking at the $34 to $35 range. Otherwise, I see us coming up to test this for support, or resistance, I'm sorry. And there's a possibility we test it for resistance. Obviously, that would line up with the RSI right here, and we could shoot back in here and test the top for resistance. Now, that's, like I said, it's hard to say right now. The market is extremely weird right now. So, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to come back up and test this, which, I don't know why my screen's locking up. There we go. Which would probably come up and test this. And then if we get back above here, we would probably come back down, test it for support, and then continue back up. That's where we're at with Litecoin right now. Now I'm going to get into the Bitcoin chart. And again, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. And then tick the little notification bell to get notified when I post videos. Also, leave a thumbs up in your comments. I'd appreciate it. All right, so Bitcoin on the daily. We've been looking at the symmetrical triangle. And you can see the targets I had drawn out here also. And we're going to look at what happened. And I had said the same thing for this. If you guys have been watching my videos, let's go into, here we go. I had the target at 4,100, and I actually put a short in there yesterday, but I put my stop at 41.65 and I got stopped out. I should have put it a little higher. Can't win them all, right? But, and I had my target down here because I said we would have to retest. I was really looking for a retest of this symmetrical triangle here. And I'm going to get rid of some of that stuff in the charts after I just do this explanation. The symmetrical triangle here, and I kept saying that we were coming down to retest around the 37.90 to 37.60 range, and obviously we dipped a little below that, but I'm still looking to continue with a bounce off of this. I did enter along right here at actually 37.70, and then I put my stop right at this peak here, which was at about 37.10, I believe. Yeah, 37.10, which is right below this. And the same with Litecoin that I was talking about, guys, with the wave 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 should never come back down past wave 1. So that's why I put my stop loss there. But it is possible that this support line here holds, and this line doesn't, you know, it possibly is not exact, but you guys get the idea. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get rid of these two, kind of clean the charts up a little bit now that we talked about that. And like I did the Adam and Eve on the Litecoin, we're going to do that on Bitcoin here, because it looks definitely like Adam and Eve here also. Now what we would do is draw a neckline right across here. Let's see, actually right about, go right here to be safe. And if we look at that, that's, you know, I could be wrong. We could come all the way up here, and that would make the Adam and Eve, which would make sense. But actually, I'm going to keep it, you know what, I'm going to put it right here. Again, these aren't exact, guys, when we do this, but as you can see, this looks a lot like a Adam and Eve right here. And let's go to the measured move from that would be from the neckline to the tip of the Adam. And then we would put that up top. And that would give us this range in the $5,200 range. And I have a conservative 51.31. If we were to break up, we're going to also look at the bearish side too, guys. And I also have this target here at the, excuse me, 43.70 range. And how I came up with that is I will show you in the, I use the Fibonacci here. And the Fibonacci, if this was wave 1 and wave 2, we do a measured move off of the wave 2, which this isn't going to be exact, guys. I don't want to zoom in and take everybody's time, but oh, sorry about that. Get back. This would be wave 1 here, wave 2. And that got us to the 1.618, which is usually, that's where usually wave 3 ends up. So let me get out of there. And this move here, let's see, let's go from, you remember I had the breakout measured on the top of this triangle, which obviously, dang it, which obviously we came up, broke out here. Let's see where that leads us. That's right into the same area, right around the $5,000 range. So we're looking between the 5,000 and 5,200 range for a high if we do break up from here. Excuse me. And this 43.60 is the peak over here. Obviously, we're going to have resistance there, and that may be right where we touch along here. If we do break up, guys, again, there's no guarantees that we're going up, but I am looking that direction still. I know there's people out there that say I'm over bullish, but I'm just telling you guys what I see, and that is what I see. Of course, with confirmation that we stay above this top of this symmetrical triangle. So let me get this one out of here too. All right, guys, so now let's take a look. As you can see, I have right here between the $3,250 and $3,300 range. That's where I see some major support. If we were to drop down out of this triangle. But excuse me. Now I'm going to take a look. Let's go into the 1 hour, and then we'll go into the RSI and look at this also and kind of try to make some sense of it. But as you can see, just like I did on LITECOIN, we can do a measured move off if we were to print, say we printed a bull flag or a bear flag out of here, right? Then we would do let me move this up a little bit. Then we would do a measured move from where we broke out down to the tip of the flagpole and the breakout, and that would get us down into the $3,400 range, which $3,350, $3,400 range, which would line up with this support right here. That is a possibility, obviously, that we break down. Got to keep an eye on what's going on in this spot here and kind of, you know, to get a feel for what's going on. But like I said, if we can get back above this and hold support on the top of this symmetrical triangle, you know, we could have some more continued move up. Or like I said, we make a bear flag here and come back down. Now let's get into the RSI. Oh, this is the 1 hour oversold, obviously. Let's go to the 4 hour. And as you can see, like I said, we watched the bottom of this symmetrical triangle here. And if we broke below, we would have a sell-off, and that's exactly what happened. And just like in Litecoin, we're getting a little tick. You know, it's curving around. But let's go into the daily RSI. And look at what I had drawn here. Oh yeah, I want to show you one more thing on the Bitcoin chart when I'm here before we move on to the looking at the points where I think we've hit bottom. So, but anyways, as you can see, same thing. I had this rising wedge here. Instead, if we drop down, and we'd have a sell-off, which we did. Now I'm going to move these lines and kind of take a look. And guys, don't be afraid to move your lines around, because there's, you know, you got to change with the market. So obviously, when the market makes different moves, you try to make them with them. So could this possibly be what we're looking at now with another move up? And the other move up would be to this 43.50 range right in here. That's what we'd be looking at there. So now, yeah, that's what we're looking at there. So now I want to go in. There was something else I wanted to show you guys, and now it's slipping my mind. I do not remember what it was. How much time do we got left in this candle? 30 minutes. So in the 30 minutes, I expect us to get a bump up and hold on top of this symmetrical triangle is what I'm feeling. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's what I see going on now. Oh yeah, now I know what I wanted to show you guys. I'm gonna draw trend line from here to here, these two peaks. Then we're gonna take another one and draw from here to here. And if, as you see, there's another point you can watch and know if it's possibly going to break down. If we break down past this trend line right here. But what we probably, in my opinion, as long as we don't break down from there, what we're probably going to end up seeing is something like this. Come back up here, and then another move up to that target area, and then obviously come back down to retest this support right here at 41.75, and then, you know, maybe make an attempt to break up to that, to our higher target, which, let me clear this stuff off the screen here, guys. Sorry the video is a little bit longer than usual. I just wanted to kind of show what options I'm seeing and what I'm looking at, so you know you can have another view. Because I know most people, when we have a dip like this, everybody, the bears come out and now it's going down. Just like when we were going up, the bulls come out and it was going to, you know, straight to 5,000, whatever. People go nuts over these moves. They look big in the smaller time frames, but they're really nothing at this point. But if we did get up here and then, you know, obviously come up and we do hit this target area, like I said, around the 5,100 to 5,200, somewhere in there, and then come back down and maybe test this top of this bigger falling wedge that I have the trend lines in white here. So that's where I'm at with Bitcoin right now. Now, I said I wanted to go into the macro charts and kind of show you why I think we've seen the lows already. And I've showed you this before, and I just like to show this because the resemblance is amazing to me. So this is the Bitcoin daily. And I drew the solid yellow line from the top peak across to where we broke down from 6,000. And I did the same from the top peak here with the dotted line to the 6,000 range, and then there is this yellow solid yellow line that goes up is the macro trend line from, you know, back here. So you guys know what you're looking at. Now, if we look at gold and the weekly, you know, it made almost the same. I mean, the resemblance is amazing. And I know, you know, everybody's still calling for 25,000, 1,000. I just don't see that happening. And I'm not saying that it's going to do exactly this. I just like the resemblance of this chart. And if we zoom in, this is where I believe the support will probably hold, and this is going to be the line to watch. And if it does break, then I will be bearish also for new lows. But if you look at this, like I said, the macro trend line here, even if we dropped to this candle here, the low would be around 3,400. As we continue, the low gets a little bit higher and a little bit higher. It's a slow incline. But that's why I do think we've seen the bottom over here at the 31.20 range, 31.25, whatever, depending on what chart you're looking at or what exchange. Now, if we zoom into that gold on the weekly, it did the same thing. We got two touches. This one really didn't get a touch, but we got the two touches here, and then obviously we went up from there. Now, another thing I wanted to point out, everybody's looking for the big capitulation candle. As you can see, this had a giant bull run followed by a long bear run also, and there was no capitulation candles, none. I can even zoom into the daily, and there just is no capitulation candles. That's why I don't think we have to see the capitulation candles that everybody's talking about. I take that back, not everybody. Most people are saying that we have to, but you know, so this to me really looks like a bottom, guys. So another thing I wanted to show you is if we go into the RSI, put this up here, go into the monthly, and I've drawn these two arches. And if you look, I've counted out 1, 2, 3, 4 bottoms in the RSI. I did the same over here. This was the 2014 bull run. Obviously, then we had our bear market, and then slowly started into our 2017 rally. Now, there was our 2017 rally, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lows. And as you can see, the resemblance is amazing. Now, you know, we're probably going to see some sideways action, but I wanted to show you this last low over here was in January of 2015. This low is in January of 2019. That would be the final low, I believe. And then, you know, then we may see some sideways action. And if we look at the last low over here before the RSI actually really picked up and the momentum picked up, that was in August of 2015. Now, we look at August 2019 would be right here. So we could have sideways action all the way to August and then start picking up. Now, when we started picking up here in 15, it was kind of still a sideways market. It was just the RSI picking up. We may see that again all the way to, let's see, right around March of 2016 is when we really started picking up. So if we look at where that's at, March of 2020 would be right around in this area. Now that's what I'm seeing, guys. I do believe, like I said before, you know, I could be wrong, but I really do believe we've seen the lows. I don't see us going any lower. Like I said, it's possible we could get a double bottom, but I just don't see us making any new lows. So for all them bears out there waiting for new lows, I know you don't want to hear it, and you'll probably have some bad things to say about me, but that's all right, because this is my opinion, and that's why I'm sharing it. So anyways, again, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. There's a Crypto Savvy logo above my head. Click that, tick the little bell to get you subscribed. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and leave your comments and let me know what you think. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend. Bye.